Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, coach. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Get off our lawn.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card, where we partake, and we tell you if what we're partaking is potable, and
potent.
or potent. Shit, you're right. Yeah, we've had some potent shit here, and then we talk football, or soccer, or calcio, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, because we're not really that picky, and we don't really believe in those dudes who are like, it's called football, dude. It's called football. We don't believe in those douches. All right. So anyhow, the turd in the background says, welcome to the Card Red Straight, everyone's favorite soccer show. Get ready to laugh as two old dudes smoke, drink, and swear.
The Card Red Straight.
It sounds like he's got vertigo. That's what it sounds like. I don't know my up from down today.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's mixed and match, and he left show off and put an extra the there.
Yeah, that's really weird. Oh, by the way, people ask me, what happens if you tie? Are you going to do her? The doll, the blow-up doll?
Just oral, right?
I think I'll just fondle her if we tie. I don't know if I could do her. I mean, we got to win if I'm going to do that doll. We can't just tie. I fondle her both.
Son of a bitch. So. Fucking Don struck again.
How do you know this, Dan W? Dan Winter? Gotta let us know, Dan Winter.
Don's Don's pissed off because we use him in our intro now.
Yeah, well, we haven't get hit for that yet. Thankfully. Hey, I did go out, by the way, try to buy that gray beard shit. You know, what is that? Made for Men or whatever it's called?
Sure.
So, it's been a long day, a long week of work. It's Friday night. I go and buy it. I take it home. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to fix this gray shit here. And I'm tired. So at 9 o'clock, at 9:40 or somewhere like that, I'm like, all right, I'm going to open this box and let's do this. I'm going to do my beard. All right. I was all playing. I opened the box. I pull out the instructions and they're like, that long. I'm like, what the fuck is this all about? How can it possibly be? The instructions be this long. And I look in the box and there's 3 different bottles. And then the instructions are like, you got to squeeze a little bit of that and a little bit of this. And then you got to put that in. I'm like,
you got to match your natural look, man. It's not like, hey, here's black, for black hair. Here's blonde for blonde hair. You got to mix and match that shit to match your color.
Dude, I'm a tired man.
I think instruction number 3 is to dip your balls in it. So you got to match both, up and down.
Dip your balls in it. I'm just saying, I mean, when you want to do that with your beard and shit, you don't want that to take a half an hour. I'm sorry. That should be something where it comes in a bottle, you put the brush in, you wipe it on your fucking beard, you put the top back on, and you're done. You're done. That's it. That's all you have to do. I don't want to be squirting a bunch of all these mini little bottles and some fucking concoction that I got to create to do my fucking. I mean, make it easy for dudes, man. We don't like complex. I hate instructions. All right. You guys always wear hats. I haven't always wore a hat. There have
been a number of shows where I haven't either. It's just mainly because I couldn't find it. I choose to wear a hat because I don't want to blind you. Because I got the light right up here, man. If that thing beams down on my head, man, there'll just be a blinding light right here in the camera.
And while I don't really have the same issue because I actually have hair, I just do it because, I don't know, back in the old days when I did it, it's because I wasn't combing my hair. It was during COVID and shit. And, I just wake up and hang out all day and drink and smoke. And then the show would start. And I'm like, oh, shit, I forgot to fucking comb my hair. So then I put it on. Now I just do it because it's a habit. So, Alex Martinez, they said white hairs make you alpha, Derek. Well, it could be. But
I'm kind of looking forward to the salt and pepper. It makes me a little more distinguished.
I don't know.
It's not really salt and pepper when you kind of have like blondish, brown, dirty blonde hair. An occasional gray strand just poking out.
I guess the problem is it makes me look like I have a handlebar mustache if you don't take the white into consideration because it blends in, with my subtle whiteness.
At least it's not just centrally here,
Right.
You don't want that.
I do look like a truck driver. or something. Or one of those guys that drives those motorcycles. Well, that's not really like me, but that's just what you're going to get from this camera. All right.
Jeff says, if we beat England, you got to drink a bottle of gin. I will not drink a bottle of gin. I will drink gin. Happily.
I will with what's the shit you mix with it? Tonic. I'll do a gin and tonic.
What else do you mix with gin?
Man, gin will fuck you up, man. Make you so sick too. So, speaking of drinking, hey folks, look what I did. I broke down and got me some old.
Where's the camera at there?
Smoky. It's moonshine, pecan flavored moonshine, and God, I get it here. I'm gonna pour some. Oh.
I bought a new handle of Evan Williams. Hooray.
Always the best for Brett. Oh shit! I just splashed the computer with
get rid of it anyways.
With old Smoky. It looks like somebody fucking rubbed one out on my fucking computer. All right. I serve it with ice. It's really good. And that's the problem with this shit. I am going to be fucked up. It is 30.
That reminds me of why I don't do White Russians anymore. Because you quickly get fucked up.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of sessions where White Russians agree with me. And I also agree with White Russians. But after those two incidents, I'm like, I'm going to lay off the White Russians because I just got totally fucked.
I need to do the dude thing. It's my dude impersonation.
Sure.
All right. Good shit, though. Oh, also, I got a flat tire on Friday.
Yay.
So I had an appointment to get new tires on Saturday. I got a flat tire on the way to work, on the way back from work to home. All I had to do was make a 30-minute drive back to my house, and then I could have made a 7-minute drive to the fucking. Instead, I had to get my ass towed from my house to the goddamn tire thing. Spent more buco bucks for the tow, and all I needed to do was get through one day.
Your insurance not cover a tow?
I don't think so. I don't even think about
it. I think you get like one tow a year or something like that. But how often do you really need to get towed?
I haven't had a flat tire for probably 25 years. But when I started home and I hit that bump and it went, I could tell it was going down. About 10 minutes out from my house, it started getting a little rougher. And by the time I got to my house, it was going.
It sounded like your tire was saying, fuck you.
But I didn't ruin my room. So
I don't know how you do that, because you're telling me that you literally had to drive back to your house with that flat tire from the tire place.
Yep.
Because apparently.
Oh, I stopped at Firestone.
Yeah.
And I go there because I'm like, okay, I'm on 86th Street. There's a Firestone right down the road. I pull in. It's 4:30. I go in and say, listen, I got a flat tire. Can I get it changed? He said, well, you don't have your size of tire. I'm like, I haven't even told you what size of tire it is. He's like, yeah, but I saw you rolling on the Ford Focus. And I'm like, okay.
Everybody's got a Ford Focus, so.
It seems to me, I said to him, that's a very common car that you would have a tire for this shitty car. He said, all right, dude, I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody went home at 4:30.
They closed at 6, you say?
Yeah, everybody was home at 4:30. It was a Friday.
It must have been an incredibly slow day. Like they had like one person in earlier rotate some tires, and that's it. Everybody's just in there twiddling their thumbs.
Yeah.
And like, hey guys, why don't you just go ahead and head out? Nobody else is going to come in.
Yeah. And he's like, don't tell my boss. I said, I don't even know who your boss is. I'll call your boss.
I will come back here tomorrow with my flat tire. So Alex brings up a good point. You should have called me. I would have picked you up, dropped you off at your parents' house, and then you could have just stayed the night there. And then Saturday, your car was already at the place to get tires.
Well, that's all right. No, because what happened is I got home. I got on the phone with the tow guy, by the way, who turned out to be a big U.S. men's national team fan. So we wrapped all the way there.
Is he listening now?
I don't know.
It was on Monday, man.
His name was Jose Montes. He was super cool. We talked about U.S. soccer, Mexican soccer, you name it. We talked about his favorite team, Cruz Azul. We talked Liga MX's abandoning promotion relegation. It was a great conversation. Damn. Yeah. And so that 12-minute drive was fabulous. And that was the next morning at 11 a.m. He drove here, hooked up my car, got it on the whatever that ramp is, and pulled it up, and boom, off we went to Tire Barn right there in Fishers. So problem solved. Just it was the dinero, and you know what? Fuck dinero. I got dinero. I'm not worried about it. So I didn't sweat it. Yeah. I don't need my mom and dad coming down and pick me up.
Look.
Ford Focus buddies. Hey guys, I had to sell the Lexus. I'm sorry. I couldn't hold on to that anymore. I don't. It was too expensive. All the repairs.
It gets you to point A to point B. It doesn't. I mean, I'm not a big car guy. I mean, my nephews made fun of me when I got the Prius initially. Like, dude, you got a Prius? I'm like, yeah, it gets 55 miles to the gallon, you little fucks.
And the Ford Focus gets great mileage. And honestly, the Lexus, just every little thing that went wrong with it was so expensive, it wasn't worth it. Just not worth it anymore. And I bought the Ford Focus originally for my son, but he went to the Navy, and so he didn't need the car anymore. So that one sat in the garage and was.
You can't drive on the water.
You can't in the sea. So why not use the Ford Focus? It's a reliable car. Gets me from A to B. And maybe I'll buy a new car in a couple of years. I'm thinking about it, but I'm in no hurry. Let's put it that way. All right.
Here we go. Chuck says, wish I had a Focus. Got too many Coopers and repairs are a bitch.
Yeah, and they're expensive too. I like those little cars, but yeah, what a pain in the ass.
Gas is $3.20 in Texas. You know what? I recently just got down to $3.30 where I'm at, so
yeah,
I'm happy.
It's not bad. I mean, it's not great.
Thank you. Yes, it's not great, but it's better than the $4 we were paying.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the point that 336 starts sounding good, it's just because $4 sounded horrible. Brett, are you growing a vagina yet while driving your Prius?
Wouldn't that be interesting? Wouldn't that be interesting?
If you grew a vagina, I think your wife would be like, what the fuck's going on down there?
That way when people say, Brett, go fuck yourself, I'm like, okay, sure, I guess.
Sure. Does he get to keep his penis while he grows his vagina?
Yeah, that's a great question. Does that drop off? I don't want that.
Yeah, that's not cool. Man, now if he gets to have a vagina and a penis, then maybe that's a discussion Brett's willing to entertain. All right. You want to do some emails before emails, Twitters, tweets?
Mister, I got a job talking about emails now.
Hey, I don't.
Yeah. So we got some on the Twitters to talk about.
Got some hot takes. Some hot takes. That what they call them these days? Hot takes.
Hold on, before I pull that up. Let's see here. He says, I drive a Prius and made it all the way from Cancun to Cancun from Texas. Yeah.
Way to go.
Gave me about 450 to 500 miles on a full tank.
I mean, it's even more impressive if that's Western Texas.
I mean, does this mean that I can no longer sire any kids?
Yeah, he's fine with that. But
sign me up.
I don't know if you'll be able to make any more sperm, though, without balls. So no jism.
No, as long as, as long as you still get hard, I don't care.
What if you can't ejaculate? That's horrible. That's the whole point of getting it hard. Without balls.
Remove it. All right. So U.S. men's national team soccer team, says not your average Joe.
Now they're giving the reach around.
Not your average
Joe. We love you, Joe.
Hold on. I got to jump back. I got to add audio. Might as well do that now because we got some video to play later.
Okay. Yeah, they're giving him the reach around now, but they wouldn't mention him ever. But a few months ago.
This is not your average Joe. Which, in fairness, I mean, the guy who's running the U.S. men's national team Twitter handle doesn't make any decisions. So he's just having a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
But Gladbach says this. Hold on. Let's unmute this. Pull back.
Geez, Lois, how long you been waiting to crack out that gem?
I would say since this summer, when Scully was officially called back up and actually played.
He's a fairly average right back in the Bundesliga. He's got work to do. But he's
serviceable. He's performing.
He's serviceable. Absolutely. If you are serviceable in the fucking Bundesliga, you're a good player.
Yeah.
You may not be a great player, but you're a good player. So
He's getting 90 minutes every game. I could give it. I can give two shits less than a fuck if he's absolutely killing. I want him to kill in the league, obviously, but he's still playing and developing. That's all I care about.
I mean, he's still average in the sense that there's nothing about him that makes me go, whoa, except his age, maybe. And that's not because I'm, like young boys. I'm just saying his age makes him stand out because he's young. Yeah. Other than that, he's fairly average.
He's going to continue to develop.
He's fairly average for the Bundesliga. Yeah. But he could get better because he's
you know what? Average for the Bundesliga is still good.
I know. That's what I said earlier.
It doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying?
This shit's going to fuck me up, isn't it?
Yes, it's going to totally fuck you up. All right. We got American Hooligans here saying, feeling blessed to be able to be one of the first people to wear this kit. Thank you so much for the opportunity. That was phenomenal. Well played.
That is pretty awesome.
This actually looks better than the real one.
It looks like all the players are wearing a fucking bow tie, dude. It's such an annoying uniform.
Oh, Christ.
God. I mean, to put no effort into that whatsoever. And maybe that's the point. They all looked at each other and, we didn't work real hard on this, but maybe that's what makes it perfect.
It was like, you know what? People are still going to buy it, so why are we even bothering? Yeah, we'll just throw a couple stripes here. What is this thing? I don't know what the fuck that is, but we'll just give them that.
You know what's great about this jersey? It's the first thing we came up with.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a phenomenal kit. I'm glad American Hooligans are allowed to wear that at the next match.
Beautiful. That's lovely.
You see all the well, you didn't because you're not on Twitter, but USSF has sent out a bunch of the kits to influencers on the YouTubes and the Twitches. Not Twitch, Twitches, yeah.
Oh, really?
So basically the people who play FIFA online
have
really? Hundreds of thousands of followers. And they're like, oh, this is the greatest gift I ever got.
You knew we weren't getting one.
We haven't started playing FIFA yet. Soon, though. We'll get free jerseys. This sounds going to work.
Pete's not getting one. Tack's not getting one. You know who's going to get one? Sam. Sam's going to get one.
Probably would.
I bet you he's going to get one. People like Sam. They don't like.
He's a likable guy. What's not to like? Yeah,
we're likable. Why don't we get one? All right.
We're an acquired taste. Not much unlike Jen.
All right, you're right. It's true. Some people don't like us.
Man.
They're like, those guys, they're so gregarious. They're fat.
It probably was Chris before he decided to put some art on it.
Looks like a jizz rag. So, do people actually have jizz rags? Because again, I don't think that's a thing. I think people
talk about losing socks.
Dude, you don't come into your socks. You don't use a rag. Just use some Bounty or some fucking toilet paper and throw it away. Don't accumulate your jizz on a jizz rag and then have to go wash it. That's disgusting.
Oh, man.
Jizz rags. Cut them out.
I think the rags and the socks are meant to be tossed afterwards, I would imagine.
Oh, tossed. Now you're going to use that language. Okay. All right, where are we going next?
Why waste toilet paper?
Toilet paper's cheap. But if you're going to really blow and use some Bounty. If you got a dribbler, you can use some toilet paper. But if you got, it's been 2 weeks, you know what I mean? Use some Bounty. It's a quicker picker-upper.
There you go. Tissues or toilet paper, I'm assuming, is flawless. No chance of not finding out.
Yeah, you can always flush it. Yeah. I mean, Bounty, you don't want to be flushing too much of that down your toilet. I'm just saying, if you haven't
toilet paper is not cheap in a pandemic. It's true. It's true.
Well, according to some people, that's over. It's over. There you go. That's what we've been told.
Happily, I haven't worn my mask in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't either. I yelled at a guy walking his dog with a mask the other day.
What did you yell at him and say?
Well, I was just driving by the sidewalk, and here is this guy wearing a mask.
Where's your mask for your fucking dog, man? Come on.
Walking his dog outside all by himself. on a sidewalk wearing a mask. And I just rolled down the window. I said, "Why are you wearing a mask?" And he just
during
looked at
the
me.
height of it all. Whenever you're outside, I didn't wear masks then. But then
And
again, I live in rural Indiana, so the chances
what?
of me actually walking down the sidewalk and passing somebody is kind of slim to know.
You know what his response was?
What?
Nothing.
Oh,
Nothing.
I thought you were gonna, show the bird. Whoop.
I just rolled my window back up before it was cracked. No, I didn't. I said,
Mask
just think
shaming.
about it. Rolled it up, and then I left.
Yeah, Adam's got it right here. The ones that are driving by themselves.
I don't get it at this point. I really
I
don't.
didn't get it at the time either. If you're in a car by yourself, it's your car. I mean, come on.
If you can put it on once somebody gets in your car, then I
Yeah.
got it back then. And then, but
I mean,
nobody.
that AC just circulates the shit back in there, so you're kind of fucked regardless if you're in somebody's car in that situation.
Yeah. And then the masks are, they're all right. Anyhow, we're going to get trouble for talking about this shit. All right.
Yeah.
Nations with
This information, this life
Yes.
is cut off now.
And I mean, we did so well to avoid that conversation for 2 years or a year and a half while it was going on.
Well, what, too soon?
Well, I think we're all
It's not
clear.
like somebody. Oh.
All right.
Anyways, nations with the most U19 minutes played in Europe's top five leagues.
leagues.
Well, I mean, France plays a lot of young guys. It looks like
Yeah.
within Europe, actually. So, what's top five, anyways? I mean, at this point, it's the big three: France and Portugal,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yep.
Wait,
Holland.
so England, Spain, Italy, Portugal,
Holland.
France.
No,
That's
no.
your top five.
No. It is EPL,
Yes.
La Liga,
Yes.
Bundesliga,
Serie A. Bundesliga and Serie A. Yes.
then Serie A.
So yeah, Portugal. I think Portugal. Yeah, sorry, everybody's saying Germany. Yeah, sorry, I was completely spacing Germany, despite the fact that they're on here too.
Despite you're talking to one,
I'm talking to a Germany.
a German American.
But yeah, I think Portugal uplifted France from the top five league in the most recent.
I mean, they might have. I mean,
ranking system,
Bordeaux,
whatever
does
the fuck
well.
that is.
Benfica sometimes does really well in Champions League, and that's how that shit's decided. So, wouldn't surprise me. But after you get past, say, Bundesliga, it's just like a fight between Holland and France, and
I don't think Holland is up
Portugal.
there with France and Portugal.
There's always Ajax. Excuse me.
Fair enough, but
Yeah.
I think they're looking at the quality. I think they're looking at the quality of the entire league as a whole.
I'm just talking about how they do in Champions League. And Ajax
Fuck up, Alexa.
does really well.
All right, so we got France obviously sitting on top. Not obviously, but they are.
Okay.
Spain, Italy. So far, no surprises. You got England. Oh, look at that!
Look at
that little flag there. Look at that little guy.
Look who's nibbling on the English heels there.
We're gonna take third. We're gonna take fourth. We are,
Dude, if you ever
Look at that difference, though. That's kind of surprising.
you told me 20 years ago this was going to happen, I'd be like, really? I don't think so. But it has. Here we are. All of you out there today are spoiled compared to what we had to live and endure. And so this is it. We're making strides. We're doing better in Germany with youth players. It's insane.
What's funny about this overall picture here, maybe outside of France, but pretty much all the nations here, their U19 players probably play within their domestic league for the most part.
Mostly, yeah.
I mean, they all stick to the. I guess if you're within the top five in Europe, I mean, at that point, especially when you're young, I mean, what's the point of really venturing out?
This is an astonishing list. It is. Anyway, you look at it, especially since Italy didn't even qualify for the World Cup, they can just be rejected off this list and just move us up to fourth. But no, I get the idea. Seems like Jude Bellingham alone would have 500 plus minutes. That kid is a machine.
So this would this be this year's minutes? Because we're sitting at September, so this must have been last year.
Maybe
Where
so.
was Sancho still in Dortmund, or was he in Manchester at that point? I think he was Manchester, wasn't he?
Who?
Sancho. Jordan.
Oh, Sancho just went to. I thought he just went to Man United.
Like just this season, or was he there last season?
I don't remember him being there last season, but I didn't watch much Man United, so I don't know. I did watch Dortmund. You'd think I'd remember that. Oh, no, I didn't watch much Dortmund because Reina stopped playing. That's right.
Well,
So
stop playing.
injured. Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
Remind me to sip this shit.
All right. He was there last season as Dortmund or as.
Yeah, I love that. That's my ex-wife. I'll be there soon. How fucking long is soon? I don't know. Soon. Was that 10 minutes, 30 minutes, fucking an hour? What's soon
An
to you?
ETA, please.
Yeah.
I'm about to leave. Okay. Well, okay. Sure.
All right. That's good.
He was at Man U last season, so a bunch of people are chiming in now.
Okay.
Man U.
Was that a mid-season window?
Chug and Derek.
Hell no, dude.
Sparkle wants to see you wasted.
If I did that, this show's lasting about 20 more minutes, and that's
Derek,
about
you'd
it.
probably be the first drunk person on the show.
Yeah, right, Mister fucking dribbling out of your corners of your mouth like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Hey. Like 2.5 weeks ago. Come on, let's be real.
I was worried if you were going to make it through. All right. Do we want to go through?
It was always fun to go back and listen to as well. I mean, you're like,
Yeah, I know. You're like, oh, that's about that time where I was really fucked up. I should have stopped the show. Do we want to go over the players that played this weekend?
No, not yet. We've got a couple other things to cover here real quick.
You mean 27 minutes in?
Sure.
Okay.
You wasted the first 13 minutes talking about your car.
No, we didn't. That was like an 8-minute segment of my car.
I know, but we also intro and all that shit. So,
All right.
I mean, we can. Sure, we're gonna go over all the stuff anyways. If you want to split it up a bit, you can.
Okay. I just want to say one word: Pefok. He scored. But we won't cover that.
Speaking of Pefok, we want to cover him now.
Yeah, let's do it. Because I'm really irritated.
Yeah.
The coach decides. Pefok said, "Me, I play games with happiness. I keep trying to give my best. Afterward, as we say in France, it's at the end of the ball that we play the musicians. The artists is really the actual real yeah, that's what he really was saying. This is just another. This is like one of those things you throw on Google Translates and it gets close, but he meant artists, not musicians. But same thing, I guess. Jordan Pefok is thriving at Union Berlin, but a U.S. men's national team call-up eludes the informed striker.
Always out of grasp.
NBC Sports Soccer. He says, my chances are not at zero. We'll see in the end who's called up for the World Cup. All right, so we'll see. But I hope they're right. I hope when Greg says something like this, we already know what Jordan can do. I hope that means he's already in the lineup, but I'm not counting that as the fact at all. Because he said the exact same thing about John Brooks. We already know what John Brooks can do.
Said the same thing about Stefan.
Yeah. And by the way, I told you last show when we talked about Stefan, when Greg said, well, he's injured, therefore he's not showing up. And I told you his coach, his manager at his club team had already said he was healthy enough to start the game before. And then he started the game this weekend. Just like I told you Stefan would do. Don't give me this he's injured bullshit. It's not true, people. He didn't get called up. Not because of that little injuries. He didn't get called up because no one's got any confidence in him. That was like the whole John Brooks, I had a back injury.
Yeah.
Bullshit. We all knew it was bullshit. We can smell that bullshit a mile away. Greg.
So Alex asks, we love the show. Why do you all watch the time? Because if we just continue to ramble, guys, this would be an easy 3-hour show. I mean, Derek and I could just go off about nonsense nonstop.
Yeah. This would go on for hours. Yeah. So we got to do some monitoring of
We got
ourselves.
to split it up. So like we ramble, we talk about a little bit of soccer, and then we jump into the topic, and then we end with a little bit of soccer. You know.
Yeah, I mean, besides, I don't know what the algorithms say, but it seems to me the longer these live things go on, the more YouTube's like, quit wasting our fucking bandwidth, motherfuckers.
I don't know. The Meg show was probably one of our highest live streams.
How long was that? 3 hours?
2.5 to 240, I think, range.
Yeah, Meg loved us. We love Meg.
What's not to love?
Let me count the numbers. You're male.
But yeah,
Right.
so I had Pefok do this week.
You're old.
Talk
He
about
scored. He scored
What?
one of the most beautiful headers you'll ever see. It was a great cross by Becker. And don't tell me he can't press, because at times Becker and Pefok will get up in your grill. All right. And they will press the back four. And they did it. And it's two guys, not three, two guys pressing. All right. And they almost got some steals that way. I believe the Firmer's first shot by Pefok was a steal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the whole point of this is don't give me this shit that he can't press. Don't give me this shit that he doesn't play our style of ball, so we don't need him. Fuck you, dude. You can't play one-dimensionally, Greg. You got to think, what if what I'm doing doesn't work? Then you got to bring in something different, somebody who does something different, and maybe even play a different way. So, I mean, can you tell that I'm really unhappy about this?
I think it's funny because I was talking to one of my math teachers at my school, who happened to have been my varsity coach back my freshman sophomore year, and I had was like, so what's your thoughts on Pefok not being included in this roster? And he went off on a tangent about how Berhalter is so set in his ways that he's kind of screwing himself over in that sense.
Yeah.
And this is somebody who doesn't, as far as I know, he doesn't listen to our show. So I mean, it's not just our little corner of the echo chamber. You know, there are plenty of casuals that are out there like, wait, we have one of the top like 5 goal scorers, top 6 or whatever he is in Bundesliga, on the top team in Bundesliga right now, and he's not included.
Yeah, and you know, like we said, if they just had 4 center backs and brought Pefok along, all of this angst that I have would be completely removed. Yeah. I would be completely fine, because for the most part, Greg's 26 was fine. It was good. It was good.
We, outside of 2 players, we had the exact same 26. We predicted the same 26. Let's rephrase that, I guess.
But it's such a gigantic omission. It's like Brooks, right? And so what? I sent you my list of what I thought Greg's depth list, his power rankings for.
Do you want to pull that up next?
The center forwards were. And I said, if I had to go inside his brain, this is what I bet you he thinks. And I sent you my list. I actually took a photo of what my little scrawls.
Yeah, I prettied it up though.
You made it pretty.
I love this. I love this a lot by Chris Carey. Derek, after one Twitter question. All right, I think we're good here. I think that's enough. Every show, Derek, like we have like 3 questions. Like, are we done yet? Like, no, stop it. No.
I don't know if you can compare me to him, because I'm only 8% Jewish, so I don't know. But I'll take the compliments, because Larry David's a funny fucker. All right, so this is what I said, Brett. I bet you I said Greg's striker depth. Number 1, he believes is Ferreira. Number 2,
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think he thinks it's Sargent. But after the Pepe goal this weekend, he might think Pepe's over Sargent. I don't know, but Sargent didn't score this weekend.
Channeling my inner Berhalter, I can see him thinking Pepe's ahead of Sargent simply because Pepe was a part of pretty much all of qualifier.
Yeah. And people say, oh, and Greg thinks he owes him one because, you know, he saved his ass in Honduras. Well, I mean, if that's the case, didn't Roldan save his ass in Honduras? I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's something to that.
Leggett did too, actually. He scored the 4th goal, and I think he may have assisted another one.
Yeah, could have been.
So,
but Roldan was definitely part of that one steal that led to
the 3rd goal.
That led to the Pepe run, that led to the Aronson goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not Aronson.
Yeah, it was. Pretty sure it was Aronson. Boom, boom, boom. In fact, I remember it because we were saying, who is that guy that got the steal? And And we had to
No,
go
I
back.
remember the play. I remember this was Pepe's assist, but I don't think Aronson was there.
Yeah, it was. It was so he sent Pepe on the run, Roldan did, and then Pepe crossed it to Aronson, who scored the goal. Yep. This is like a steel trap up here, Brett. You're going to lose this.
Derek,
You're going to
well
lose
played.
this
Well played.
steel trap.
Well played, Derek. You're right. When you're right, you're right. When you're right,
All
you're
right. And then I thought, okay, after Pepe, what does Greg think? Zardes. I put a question mark next to him. I'm like, does he really think it's Zardes? Really? I wouldn't put it past him. His Zardes was his fourth, and then Vasquez was his fifth, and then Bobasi was his sixth.
I don't want to believe that Zardes is third option. Although, like
Fourth.
I mentioned there, fourth. Sorry, I was looking at Jackie's response there that Zardes is his third. So, yeah, I don't see that being accurate.
You think he's got Pefok
because
over Zardes?
Well, I mean, I guess Pefok didn't do him any favors when he missed that. He missed a miss in Mexico, but he was called in over Zardes in that match too.
So did Pulisic. He missed one at Mexico
That's beside the
too.
point. Pulisic is on the roster here. So I think Pefok is ahead of Zardes because in most recent games, Pefok has been included, whereas Zardes has not been.
Okay, but what about Vasquez? Is he ahead of Pefok?
I would like to think so, given that they play in the same league, and Vasquez has significantly far more goals.
Oh, by the way, Hoppy played with the U21s again and scored.
Scored a goal, and he looked good in the match, but again, it's U21, so who knows?
I mean, it's
somebody recorded, and there was every touch for him, and he looked sharp. I would like to see him get a run out with the actual big boy team. Who knows?
Something's not right there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Pefok did save us in Nations League. We would have gone to PKs, and I don't trust us in PKs.
Yeah, but losing the Nations League doesn't really mean that big. That's not really that big of a deal.
It's trophy. It's a hardware. It's something Greg's accomplished, and something that always gets thrown in our face. No, Nations League is one of those things, like, it feels so fabricated and fake.
Yeah.
That I don't feel like anybody really cares about it.
Gold Cup, to me, is more important than fucking Nations League.
I would agree with that, too, but I even feel that's kind of fabricated to an extent. I don't know.
But it's been going on
it's
been going on for a long time,
yes.
Gold Cup. Whereas this thing is something FIFA pulled just straight out of their rectums and made up into, a tournament. So, and then that's all we play now for friendlies and tournaments. We just play CONCACAF teams.
We can see how far Lemon Party is in the show.
Lemon Party. You got to get
a little behind.
I just inhaled my own spit.
So my take would be, I agree, guys. We have 72 people watching the show. How do we only have 7 likes? And one of them is me.
Holy Christ! All right,
get on it. It's a little click just below the video, guys. You don't even have to get off our video. Just click. Go ahead.
And you don't have to slam it like some people tell you. Make sure you punch the button. No, just lightly tap. No energy. Don't have to put anything into it.
Watching, finally got EB watching Ted Lasso and everything. The first episode happened, and she goes, "I thought this was a comedy. Is it gonna get funny soon?" I'm like, "It's gonna get there. It's kind of a dramedy, if anything."
It is,
and she's liking it a lot. But there's a scene in the first episode where Roy Kent goes, "If I don't have silence, I'm gonna start punching dicks."
We used to talk about junk punches back in the day.
All right, we're up to 28. Just had to hit refresh.
Oh.
So as far as the striker depth, I think Pefok would be 4th in this situation. Hopefully he's 3rd, and maybe Sargent and Pepe are playing for that 3rd spot, maybe, or 2nd, 3rd spot. And maybe he really thinks Pepe doesn't need to go and showcase himself. He just needs to continue scoring for Berlin. And
how much do you believe the people out there who are saying, well, he didn't bring him because he already knows that he's going?
No.
I don't believe it. I don't
look at the squad. Like 97% of the roster is people who are going. There are like 3 players in spots that are really kind of testing the waters to play backup roles.
Speaking of junk punching, if Greg ever says the following thing about any player again, we should all get a shot at junk punching that motherfucker. If he says the following, we know what blank can do.
Yeah.
If he ever says that again, which like, well, we already know what Pulisic can do. We know what Reina can do. We know what McKenzie can do. We know what Adams can do. We know what Aronson can do too. You dumb fucker. That's not an excuse for leaving a guy off the fucking roster. Like, get a better one, or get better logic, or get a better excuse, or at least think about it. So when you say it and it comes out of your mouth, you don't sound like a total fucking half-wit.
So much like what we've heard from Lawless and what we've heard from Tight Shirt, I just don't think he rates Pefok as a striker in comparison to, say, Sargent and Pepe, who may be overall like just more well-rounded strikers, I guess. Whereas Pefok's a very, very focal striker type of player, you know?
Yeah.
So Sargent Pepe may be able to do more, yeah.
Even if you only play him for 20 minutes and play a different way because you got to bomb some in the box and have somebody score a goal. Well, look at what Pefok did in the box today with his head.
Exactly, yeah. Well, you don't want to bring in three of the exact same strikers because it doesn't do you any good. And I know Ferreira is different than Sargent and Pepe. So maybe make Sargent and Pepe play it out, find out who's going to be the second or third striker, and bring Pepe in case you need to throw him in at the last second.
I can see Greg coming onto our show one day, and he's like, Derek, remember that time you called me a half-wit? Yeah, I was
remember when you drew a penis in my head?
Remember when you called me a pee hole? Yeah, I did. I was just kidding, though. You remember when you called me fuckface? Yeah, I was kidding, though. I was just kidding. Remember when you called my picks dog shit? Yeah, but I was just kidding around. I mean, it's serious. Your picks were dog shit, but I was just kidding around. That's just how we do. We bust balls.
We say it with a smile, but the kernel of truth and all of the stuff we say.
What's that die with a smile on? What's a die with? Fuck, I can't remember what the name of the movie is.
Why are you thinking of that? Star Wars Satan says, "Why is Bosi above Pefok?"
In Greg's mind,
this is what Derek thinks. In Derek's and Greg's mind.
This is a nightmare I had about Greg and what he was thinking.
I think Derek is saying Greg really thinks this little of Pefok, that he has players he has not called in ever ahead of him.
I had a dream that Berhalter was coming onto the stage and he was going through the curtains and he got tangled up in the curtains and he spun around like 5 times, ripped the curtains off, fell on the stage. We're all like, "Oh my God, what's going on? This guy's an idiot." Anyhow, it was just a dream, but this is what he said in his dream. So there you go. And then he started talking about a center backs. He's like, "Zimmerman, yeah, dog. Long, that's my boy. Richards, you're injured. Go back to Crystal Palace. CCV, oh, seems like you've pulled a left testy. Back to Celtic for you. Who are we going to call up? Brooks? No, Ream? No? Okay, we're going to call up EPB. I'm all right with that. EPB's been playing well in France. McKenzie? I know he's playing for Genk, but he's slow. He's just as slow as Brooks. I don't get that pick. Don't get it.
Yeah. I mean,
as far as his system goes.
I think talking about Brooks is a mute point. Throwback, guys. Throwback. Mute point.
But yes, that's a joke.
I think McKenzie definitely gets brought in over Sands and definitely over Trusty. And I find I had to have you clarify this. Like, why do you have Trusty over Ream in this situation?
Well,
you just literally think he has a 0.0 chance of coming.
I think percentage-wise, the last guy that Greg thinks about when he goes to bed at night are Ream and Brooks.
I think people are bringing up Miazga. Where's Miazga in this situation?
He's probably even worse than Ream and Brooks at this point. I don't know. With all the dog stuff and then
do you think Greg's heard the rumor and he's heard it enough that he actually thinks that Miazga kicked his dog?
Could be. But he also
Greg, it never happened. Why do I have the memory of it?
But he's gonna like Ream more than Brooks and Miazga right off the bat for the same reason he likes Long. Ream. Long.
All right. I think Ream gets called in before Sands. I think that's where he's at. But obviously not above McKenzie.
Yeah, that was
Despite
too
the fact
bad.
that he's playing in EPL at this point. The funny thing is that a lot of people are not now jumping back on it, but they were harsh on Reem for a long time.
Yeah, I
And
get
then he
it.
hasn't been called in, but he was killing it in Champions League or Championship. Now he's back in EPL and he's doing well.
Yes,
And
he is.
apparently, I didn't watch the Fulham game, but did he cover left back?
Yes, he did, and he played well.
I heard he played well.
No, he didn't get up the field beyond, say, just past.
Well, of course not. No.
Just past sort of the halfway point. He'd get up there a couple times, but he was not like making runs at
I'd
the
love to
right back.
watch the match if I saw him actually playing like Jedi plays.
Yeah.
Having to run up and down the
No.
pitch. That'd be the funniest
No.
fucking thing in the world.
No, he
No.
pretty much stayed mostly at home. He was almost like a third center back.
I will say, even though we've always, when we predicted our 4 or 5 center back options, Reem hasn't necessarily been on there,
No,
but we've definitely given him this credit. And we've definitely talked about how much we actually like him as a player. It's just he's slow as fuck balls.
he's very smart though.
Yeah.
He knows how to cut off angles. He knows how to play the lanes. He has like was it the second or third best most steals this season, or from cross balls and from through passes. Like he just reads the guy's mind. He's like, I know where you're going with that. He just steal. Somebody made a good video about that with all his good plays this season so far.
I mean, that's how he's always played, though. He's always been able to read the game well, and when he gets the ball, he's able to distribute well.
No, he's gotten a lot better in the last 2 years.
I'm not saying he hasn't improved, but that was always his strength.
One of his strengths, but it's like, wow. Because the last time he was in the Premier League and he started off the season starting and then, of course, lost his job after like 4 games, he did not look good in the Premier League at all. So he looks really good this season. He looks like he belongs, like he's a veteran, like he's a leader, because he is a leader. He's the captain, baby. He's the captain of Fulham. Give the man some fucking goddamn respect. Plus, he's old. All right? Give old people a chance. You ageist Berhalter. It's an ageist.
Yeah, he does have an awfully young squad, man. I feel like if you're like 26 and higher, you're kind of fucked.
And after the way Reyna acted this weekend, every time he got so frustrated because, like, he had 2 opportunities where it was clear. The ball was headed straight for him. He was going to score. And then some guy would flash in front of him, steal the fucking header away from him. I mean, and he would just be like, what the fuck? What are you doing? I mean, he was raging on the fucking field. But he didn't turn into a crybaby.
He wasn't mopey, Reyna, right? He was pissed off, Reyna.
Yeah.
And you know why? They don't have Reem to reel him back in. Hey, come on back, buddy. Come on back.
Well, he reeled himself back in. I think he noticed immediately, like, because he's talked about it. He's been like, I need to do something about that. And he was pretty open about, yes, I sulk and I don't want to do that on the field anymore. So he's kind of cut that out, but he does still get upset. And he does get angry and people steal the ball. There was one guy where he was sitting right on top of the 11, and the pass just didn't come to him. The guy tried to loofed it in, and he just looked at him and said, I'm right fucking here. God damn it. Adam Nosovitz. That's how they pronounce it in Europe. But here we might pronounce it Nosovitz. Brandt and Bellingham do that constantly. Brandt just constantly takes shots he shouldn't. I'd agree with that. And Bellingham got a little, I don't know, overjoyous this weekend too with some of those shots. So,
sorry, I see Adam saying the porn bots have returned. I have not seen a porn bot on here yet.
As long as they're in German, we're okay with it.
All right, people are saying where. So, yeah, not just me.
Okay. I don't think we said anything notably pornable yet.
Well, we just said porn a couple times, so who knows? It may pop in here.
They get us every time. All right, so, now where?
Let's go ahead and pull up. Just talk about the U20 roster real quick. This won't be a topic by any means.
Okay.
But I think the most surprising inclusion here is Brain Gutierrez. He came out of nowhere, and he's super smart.
Is this The actual real tweet from U.S. Soccer?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Brain
He's
Gutierrez.
a clip of it, and it's Brain Gutierrez. All right, so the porn bots was a joke to the person in chat called Plissik's wife.
Oh.
So you got me on that one. I
Pulisic.
didn't catch on quick enough.
Again, Pulisic does not have a wife and is a virgin.
You got to cut out those certain words there, man. You're going to bring them all in. Erlen used to do this all the time. He used to come in and say OnlyFans, and all of a sudden just
Yeah. It's like he called him out with a megaphone. All right, yeah. I mean, this is not a surprise lineup. I mean, one big surprise at the start is you only bring 2 goalkeepers. Well, what happens if Brady, who's probably the likely starter, pulls a left testicle? Then you're left with 1 goalkeeper for 2 matches, 2 more matches. Does Che put on the backup goalkeeper?
I was going to bring it up as a joke, but yeah, that was good because he's the next person in line here. We talked about this before the show. Having watched all the U20/Olympic qualifiers, we've seen what Chris Brady can do, and I think he's vying for a starting role come the U20s and even the Olympics. I would like to see some of Borto and see what he can do with the boys. And go from there.
Brady goes down. Who's your backup goalkeeper off this squad?
Off this squad?
Yeah.
There's only one other goalkeeper.
I know, but you got to pick somebody. How about Marcus Furcuranis?
Hey, I don't know how agile he is. He's a tall guy, but
He's tall.
yeah, I'm not sure how agile he is though.
Plus, you get to say Furcuranis in the goalkeeper spot the whole game. All right. So, yeah, some good stuff on here. Jonathan Gomez, obviously making his defender. Noah Dunsey, he is too old, apparently.
For the U20s, yeah. He's turning 20 in about a month.
Yeah. So just like a hair too old in all spots. Underneath the armpit, chest, ball sack. Brett, you mad at Chicago for not releasing?
No. I mean, I know this is yet another year where we don't make the playoffs. It's all but guaranteed at this point. But no, I don't. Salonita's playing for Chicago, getting minutes, obviously all 90 minutes. And could you imagine a U20 roster where Salonita and Brady are included? I mean, Chicago's would have to rely on their third string goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So I don't see it happening. Salonita's getting playing time. Brady's not. So send Brady down to U20s here.
Are they still in the chase? Are they still in the chase, Chicago?
I doubt we lost this last weekend. I think that pretty much, seals the deal. I think by the numbers, not yet, but it's like all but guaranteed.
Interesting question for you. Is
Sure.
that Chelsea's decision or is it Chicago's?
I don't think
Chelsea owns him.
Yeah, I don't see Chelsea carrying that much at that point. I mean, whether he's playing the Revelations Cup or he's playing for Chicago, I think they're just happy that he's going to be playing, period, if anything. No, I think that's Chicago. Chicago is officially out. Okay. Yeah, I haven't checked the site or anything recently. I just knew that we lost, and we pretty much had a guarantee to win every match in order to stay in contention.
Yeah. But Justin Chase here, that's nice. Brandon Craig, we both like Craig's ability at corner kicks, and free kicks. Caleb Wiley's a little bit of a surprise, but not.
You jumped right down there, didn't you?
Shocker.
I mean, the U20 roster is more or less the qualifying roster with a couple of extra Europeans.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
As much as Leeds fans jizz over Paxton Aronson, he's nowhere near where his older brother was at the same time, and he doesn't play for the Union. He plays like 10 minutes a game. So Alvarado, awesome.
I say more about where the Union is. I don't know. They're a pretty solid fucking teams.
They are. That's why he's not getting minutes.
Yeah.
Alvarado, glad to see him on here. Caden Clark. Caden Clark's got a lot to prove. A lot. Especially with guys like Daniel Edelman blowing straight up his anus and saying, I think I'm better than you are, Caden Clark. Luna's here, which is going to be fun because he's 90. Jack McGlynn. I don't know how he qualifies for this team. Rokas Puksas. is here again. Brain Gutierrez.
Gutierrez.
He's Gutierrez. He's the brains of the group.
Mhm.
And then we got Paredes, who's a winger. And then Quinn Sullivan. I don't know if he's really a striker either.
And I had mentioned this at the very beginning. Like, what do you recognize?
Yeah.
What do you not see in this forward list?
There's no real center forwards in this
No
group.
real center forwards in this list.
Yeah,
I guess we're gonna be playing a Paxton Air and false nine again.
exactly. Heard from a little bird, Jake Jogo is going to declare for the U.S.
So
There's
That's
no
funny.
point in him doing that yet.
it's funny. Well, I mean, he will come U20s. He's gonna have to declare
No, he
if
doesn't.
he's gonna play for the U20s. Yeah, that's cap tying. When not this, but when the U20 Olympics, or sorry, when the U20 World Cup comes, that's cap tying.
No,
Yes.
no, sir.
The U20 World Cup is absolutely cap tying. Yes, it is.
How old is he?
No. He has to follow that rule where he doesn't get called up for, or he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he's going to get cap tied.
This is a youth tournament. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yes.
No, it doesn't. Just telling you, it doesn't.
No. Okay.
He's not going to be cap tied. He will have to. He still has the option of making a one-time switch.
Yes. He's going to be cap tied to the United States. He has the opportunity to make the one-time switch. It's the whole point of the one-time switch.
No, but that's not cap tied then.
Yes.
No, that's not how that works. It's not how any of this works, Brett.
Sure thing.
So yeah, as long as you can make a one-time switch, you are not cap tied. That's what that means. Cap tied, like your dick and your balls are tied.
Actually,
to the
the
USA
Olympics would not do
pole.
it. The Olympics would not do it because it's
No,
not an
it
official
wouldn't.
FIFA tournament.
No.
No,
And-
it's U20s, U17s would do it too.
No, they wouldn't. None of that cap ties him. Nothing. None of those. They don't. You'd have to make the one-time switch afterwards, but you're not cap tied. You are cap influenced, but you're not cap tied.
Derek, I'll have to do some search into the actual terminology, but I'm pretty sure the cap tied is the official terminology, and you have the ability to do the one-time switch to remove the cap tie.
Then how is that a cap tie?
Because you're
It's not.
officially
It's like
cap tied to a team, and you have the opportunity to make the one-time switch.
it's
But that
just
doesn't
like,
have anything to do with age either. You could be cap tied at 20 and make that one-time switch at 26. You still have the opportunity because you have the citizenship prior to being cap tied.
oh no.
Yes,
That's not how that. No. So if you run into some chick and you go out and date and she rubs one out for you, all right, that doesn't. And then the next day she comes and says, "We need to get married now." You're like, well, what do you mean? Yeah, I rubbed one out for you. You got to get. No, that's not how that works. That is like, the beginning of maybe something, right? But it's not. You aren't married to that shit, and that's what cap tied means. Like you got no other opportunity of going to any other team. You are cap tied. This is you've made a move to one side, and now in order to get out of that one side, now you have to make the one-time switch. I don't know. You're right. It's incredibly complicated. The rules they change every fucking 6 months, so maybe we'll look into it. Nobody else seems to know unless somebody's chiming in.
No, I mean there are other people who saying that you're 100% right.
Mhm.
So regardless, I will happily crow after I do the terminology here.
And you like crow, so it's all right. It tastes like chicken
You
wings.
season it well enough, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yep. Put it underneath the broiler at the end with some barbecue sauce. Yeah. All right. So that's enough of that. And Kevin Paredes did play for Wolfsburg this weekend, by the way. Got a whole 11 minutes or so at right wing back. Didn't make a difference. They still lost to Union Berlin. I think it's starting to become my favorite new team.
And I guess before we branch out to use the rest of the Yanks Abroad, I did have a video clip of Johan Gomez talking about Jogo's decision.
Oh, his brother, his older brother,
Yeah.
who plays in Germany for Joe Enoch's team in the 3 Bundesliga, I believe.
I think that's about right. Yeah.
Yep.
So I figured I'd just pull this up and play a little clip and just talk about something, because the big topic that we always have with cap tie, or I'm sorry, to be back to conversation here, to dual citizens, is that what decision really made them decide who to play for?
I'm so glad that says chum chat. Because when it was really small,
Can't see my finger right now. It's covering up the H right now.
and I couldn't see the word when you had it shrunk down, I'm like, "Oh shit, what the fuck is that?"
There you go.
I've never heard of this show
Yeah,
before. Come cat, come chat, chum
That's-
chat.
I think it's supposed to be Come Chat.
Chum chat should be a shark show, shouldn't it?
Well, yeah, chum, you put it in the water to attract all the sharks.
Yeah, but they also say chum for friend. Hey, chum. Hey, my chum. Nobody says chum anymore in England.
So yeah,
My chum.
if I remember at the end of the show, I'll put the link to this this video in the description. But I doubt I will remember. So make sure you go check them out.
Are you going to play this?
I'm going to. I'm talking first. Bitch.
Oh.
Okay, let's listen to some chum chat from Johan Gomez talking about Jogo.
Okay.
So, yeah, all I know is, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, there's no rocket science behind it. No one has to whisper. No one has to say a decision is made. Straightforward, straight as an arrow. Mexico didn't make the U20 World Cup. U.S. did. It's that simple.
So I don't want to go through the entire show. You can go back, like I said, go back and watch the entire video. Hear the link or hear the topic here. I mentioned to you earlier on the phone talking about how he mentions how it's sort of a business at this point when you're doing that, as far as who you're picking and who's going to help your career moving forward. Because what we always talk about is with dual nats is that you're a person who's torn between two countries, whether it's your parents' country or maybe you moved early or whatever. But you feel one way and you feel another way, and you're torn. I mean,
Right.
Rossi said it the best, I thought, even though a lot of people gave him shit. He said, hey, when I was in Italy, I never felt more American, but when I'm in America, I feel Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of torn between two cultures.
Yeah. Well, that's weird since Italian Americans have been here for generations. Whereas, and I don't know about his parents. I think his parents were first generation Italian Americans. And that's why he probably felt so Italian. But a lot of Italian Americans have been here for centuries. Well, okay. A little over a century. Same thing for a lot of German Americans. But I don't think this whole thing about it's a business decision is anything new. This has been going on for a long time. Ask, Jermaine Jones.
Mm-hmm.
If Jermaine Jones was playing on the regular for Germany, he would have stayed. He would have played for the Germans. They weren't calling him up, so he's like, "Well, fuck it, I'm going to go play for my other country, USA, baby." And it didn't stop him from being exceptional. He was great. One of my favorite U.S. men's national team players ever.
That's the argument that a lot of people make too. Like, well, they only picked the United States because they were never going to make the German national team. Yeah, what's your point?
Big deal.
The only reason why certain player, like Roland's brother, plays for El Salvador.
Mm-hmm.
He probably wasn't going to play for the U.S. national team.
That's why I decided to play for.
You never know. You're killing me with El Salvador.
That's why I decided to play for the Isle of Man. I knew I was never going to make the U.S. men's national team.
Pretty much. No, so and the fact that we were the silver medal at times, runners up, if you will, doesn't make that their performance with the national team any less impactful. They still, bled. Using Jermaine Jones as an example, absolutely bled for the crest.
I thought Fabian Johnson played his ass off.
Absolutely, yes.
I don't think that Timmy Chandler, he gets criticized for that a lot, but I don't think it was just because he wasn't trying. I think they were playing him out of position. He's not a right back. He's a right wing back or a winger. He's never been a right back and never been a good right back.
Yeah.
He played there much in his younger years, but not recently. It's wing back or right back. Some other guys that play. Oh, by the way, this is hilarious. So Pepe leaves, goes to Groningen.
Yeah.
By the way, they lost that game he scored in. And then Augsburg defeats Bayern.
Man,
coming
between that and almost losing to Gladbach, and it's just Bayern's having a rough start of the season.
Yeah,
nerds.
A lot of critics are saying they're not going to win the Bundesliga this season, which is nice because it's been how many fucking seasons in a row?
Yeah,
and I'm not an anti-Bayern guy. Unlike Barcelona and Real Madrid and Chelsea and other teams, they don't necessarily buy their whole team. They buy a lot of it though. So, I don't know. I have a hard time hating them.
It's
but-
well, no, you could choose not to hate them, but you also could choose that you would like to see somebody else win the league for once.
Yes, like Dortmund
It would be
or
nice.
Union Berlin, the new Leicester.
I'll take either of those two, but I would
Bundesliga?
literally take anybody at this point. And it's unbelievably predictable every season. I mean, it might be a close race going into the final couple games sometimes, but it's every year. And it happens in a lot of the big leagues too. At least in some leagues, there's at least some variance. Like in La Liga, sometimes it's Barcelona, sometimes it's Real Madrid, sometimes it's Atletico Madrid. At least it varies from year to year. Whereas, Bundesliga, it's almost like you get a new champion. You're like, holy fuck!
Yeah. And I lived in Berlin longer than I lived in Erlangen and longer than I lived in Frankfurt. So that's kind of, I feel like, Union Berlin. This is cool. This is really kind of cool. If they can pull this off, it would be the biggest miracle since Leicester won the EPL. So, Stefan went 90, by the way, in that he kept a clean sheet in a tie. Horvath also 90 in a win and a clean sheet. So that's good news. Reyna went 56 in a win. So he came in like the 23rd and got yanked off in like the 83rd. It was weird shit.
Well, I mean, I guess at that point, maybe he's still trying to gain that match fitness as a whole. Or maybe they need I don't know. But
I'm pretty sure they had a no over 60 minutes thing on him.
maybe. Everybody's still talking about how they're taking it incredibly slow with him. And I can understand it. I mean, you miss an entire season. I'll take the 60 minutes here, the 60 minutes there.
He was so involved in all of the great parts of their buildups and involved in the goal. I really enjoyed watching him play that game. I really did. I mean, he's a fucking master, dude. He is going to be up there. He's going to be a master baiter. Like, he's going to be up there with the best. All right. I really do. I believe it. Joe Scally, 90 in a win. Again, we already talked about him. Toljan, who nobody talks about, 90 in a win for Sassuolo, who's really started out have a good season. Reynolds got a goal for Westerlo and went 90. Whoa, hey. Something.
Step in the right direction.
Yep. Dask went 46, but gave up the PK and they lost the game. Did AC Milan. Boy.
Yay for AC Milan losing, I guess.
Yeah, Bassett was in the 18, didn't play. Cannon went 90 in a win. Why do we even bring up Tyler Boyd? Wright, 90 in another loss. Boy, that's looking like a really bad season. Re-signing with Antalyaspor. They look wretched. Borto, 90 for Fulham's U21s. Odense, 90 for Leicester's U21s. Both lost. Bello was in the 18 for Arminia Belfield.
Well, that's nothing new.
It isn't.
He's in
He
the
usually-
it is new because he usually gets like 3 minutes.
So he's went from 7 minutes down to 5, down to 4, down to 3, down to nothing. Here we are. Way to go, Bello. Way to impress. Venezia. Oh, the Venezia boys. Novakovic went 90, got a goal, and they tied the Leaning Tower of Pizza. 1-1. It was the name of the team was Pizza. Bucio went 90, and of course Tessman had a red card in the last game, so he wasn't going to play. Maybe that's what his personal problems are. And Leal and DeVries wrote Pine for 18. Didn't you have something on Tessman having personal problems?
Well, no, I mean, if you go and watch the Chum Chat.
Back to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Johan talks about how his normal partner in crime, which is Tessman, is going to be missing a couple weeks because he's going through some personal things.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean not playing. That could be a personal thing.
Yeah, not playing as much as he thought, getting a red card, having the coach chew his ass out game after game for playing like shit. Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of. He needs to focus on his fucking soccer and give up his podcast right now. All right, Altidore in the 18 didn't play for Puebla. Polvara and went 45. Christian Ramirez in the 18 for Aberdeen. Those two guys for Aberdeen, they lost. Tillman 20. Sands in the 18 didn't play after the way he's been playing. It's not surprised to
Not
see him
surprising.
yanked.
Yep.
Harks 90 and a loss. Oh, Sebastian Soto. Oh yeah, him. Remember him? He thinks he's big titties. Well, he's not. He's tiny titties, and I like tiny titties usually, but in this case, he's been at Klagenfurt for a month and has not touched the field. Doesn't even dress for this Klagenfurt.
Sorry, once his Scottish performance went through
Livingston
that season, yeah, I was at that point. I'm like, all right, he's got to come back and play for a USL team at this point.
Especially after his Dutch coach said, "I'd rather play other guys who care."
Well, and that's the thing. He might not even be able to make a USL team at this route. I mean, even USL have standards as far as performance and the effort you put into things. So,
and then he went to Barnsley, I believe, for a tryout before he was sent to Klagenfurt, and I guess he was in the lineup for a scrimmage game and didn't tell the coach he had a foot injury, and then limped off the field after 10 minutes. And yeah, they were pissed at him. Like, he didn't make any contact or anything. He's like, yeah, I kind of had this going into the game. They're like, why don't you fucking tell us, asshole? All right. Zendejas for Club America, 72 minutes and a goal. Yes, he's still free to play for us.
yep.
Anybody who disagrees, come see me. Alvarado and Mendez, 90 and 10. Met 90 for Mendez, 10 for Alvarado. They lost again, did Vizela. EPB, 90 in a nice win, by the way. And somehow EPB did not make Pete's best 11 list this weekend. Quite odd. Pefok, a goal, a win.
Well, who do you have as center back then?
I don't know. But not EPB. Yeah, I think he had CCV and somebody else. And that somebody else was, I was kind of like, Maybe it was Reem.
CCV and somebody else. Well, clearly it was somebody else.
Well, he didn't even make the bench because he does a bench too.
Yeah.
So if it was Reem and CCV were picked this week, I'm totally fine with that. But,
from what I understand, Reem played left back.
yeah, but I think he would still put him in center back.
Probably.
You know how he works his lineups.
Yeah.
Okay, Paredes we talked about. McKennie went 90. What's wrong with your team, dude? They are horrible.
Yeah, I mean it's a whole
Juventus
team.
is garbage.
It is a whole team issue going on right now.
Allegri seems in denial.
The entire first half was absolute garbage. Second half, I mean, Di Maria definitely fucked them royal by doing that stupid elbow.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought McKinney played better in the second half.
Well, he created two really good opportunities.
It was a tale of two styles, quite frankly, because in the first half, especially when it was 11-11, Weston was playing kind of reserved in the sense like, hey, this is my position. This is where I'm supposed to be. It looked like. It wasn't like the Weston of old where we talk about how like he was constantly pressuring the ball, forcing, turnovers. He might not have been getting the turnovers, but creating errant passes, stuff like that. He seemed a lot more reserved in this half, and he has all season. But in that second half, when they're down a man, they just needed constant pressure. I thought he was playing a lot better. He had a lot more energy. Still wasn't a great game by any means. He still had a lot of room to improve.
Yeah, a lot of his like quick passes shit. They're smell a little off this year.
They are. They're slightly off. And a number of times that I put my hands on my face, going, Jesus, Wes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he did he did create two really awesome opportunities, but
the rumor is not Tuchel to Juventus; it's Tuchel to Bayern.
Yes, it is not to Juventus. No, I don't think anybody.
Allegri has a 4-year contract that he signed this past summer, so
they are bound. They have to pay it, whether he manages or not.
Unfortunately, unless they want to just eat a shit ton of money, then he's not going anywhere. They're just going to hope to God that his magic returns.
And honestly, Juventus cannot afford to pay Tuchel and Allegri at the same time because they're both going to be massively expensive.
It'd be amazing once we start seeing what Juve will look like when they get Pogba back or Chiesa. I mean, two major players in Allegri's game plan.
I think Chiesa is going to be a massive improvement.
Absolutely,
I think
100%.
Pogba's just going to be lazy.
It's possible.
All right.
You just need moments of magic. That's all you really need.
Look at what he did at Man United. Although maybe he gets better when he comes to Juventus because he was good at Juventus the last time. he was
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
So, but maybe it'll spark something in him. Maybe he has something to prove. But McKenzie went 90.
No, not the Bayern. Jonathan's a Bayern fan. We got a Tuchel to UConn. That'll be that's a good decision there.
Women's basketball team.
Probably. Might as well.
All right. Odasawi did not dress. Hey, we told you about that one. That was coming.
I think Odasawi is falling in the same category with Soto in the sense that maybe we just stop covering them because they aren't doing anything.
They're a deflating balloon.
Yeah.
Ledesma in the 18, back with the big boys. Didn't play. Your favorite player, Brett, Jaboli Arayebi, went 45 for Ankaragachu in the Turkish top league, and they got the win. And they're, of course, a promoted team, so them getting a win is huge.
Sounds like you're chewing on your tongue when you say words like that. And
you know you like it. You like it. All right. Hoppy went 90 with a goal for the Borough U21s, which we mentioned against Norwich's U21s. And Tompkinson went, I think he went the full time for Norwich's U21s, which is kind of sad because we saw Tompkinson in the 18s this season for Norwich, kind of at the beginning of the season. And now he's back with the U21s. Oh, our good buddies, Green and Tillman at Firth, they got to win. They got to fucking win. Holy shit. And Green played 70 of those minutes. And they still won.
Bound to happen.
And then
you're looking at a squad that won the league 2 years prior.
Yes.
So they should be able to compete. It's not like they had massive turnover by any means.
And guess who came in for Green? Tillman at the 70th. So
Tillman was getting more playing time than Green for the most part.
This is the first time Green got it over Tillman. Terrence Boyd, Berlin's favorite player, got 2 goals, a brace for Kaiserslautern, but they still only managed to tie.
It's a big question in the sense that we're looking at obviously players from MLS. We're looking at players from the Championship. It's not out of the question to say, hey, maybe we need to look at a striker in
to Bundesliga.
But at this point in the cycle, it's a no-go.
Yeah.
Who knows? Beginning of next cycle, we'll see what's up.
It's too late, and then Boyd's old too. So, Conrad did not dress for Olympiacos. Oh, way to go, buddy! Are you injured? Did you pull a left testicle? What's going on?
No idea.
Doesn't seem like you're another one of those players, kind of like Soto and Odasawi, that I have no faith in whatsoever. CCV injured, left nut. Joe Effort, 30 minutes for Motherwell. I think they tied, or did they lose? They might have lost. Remember when he played in the second Belgium division? I'd say keeping your eye out for that Joe Effort kid. Boom! He's playing in Scotland for Motherwell.
Hoorah!
Getting starts and shit. Okay, that's all I got. That was the weekend. If I missed anybody, it didn't matter.
Weekend report.
Weekend report. Weekend report. Weekend report.
There you go.
I'd say Pefok's better than Boyd, Jackie D.
One would imagine. One's topping the top 5 or 6 goal scorers in Bundesliga right now for a top team. One's scoring a lot of goals in 2 Bundesliga.
And never played in the Bundesliga for any amount of time that you would call serious, Boyd. I just think Pefok's a better poacher. Has a better nose for goal. And he is the best partnership you could think of with Becker. And I'm not talking about Boris Becker either, although he is German. All right, we're going to finish up tonight with, Buster Hyman weighed in. When I say weighed in, you know what I mean.
Hey,
Good evening. Oh, Brett.
Hey, could have happened while riding a horse.
All the way in there. All right.
Down, if you will.
Oh, Jesus. What's your midfield trio prediction? I think Penis Head tries out an Adams, McKennie, Aronson midfield, maybe in one game. Yeah, he might do that.
I mean, I
No,
can't
Musa.
imagine why. At this point, I would imagine a Musa taking over McKinney's role, like an Adams Musa Aronson.
No, Moose is injured.
Oh, sorry. Was this for September then?
I would guess.
Makes sense. I mean, it's for September. Absolutely. Why not?
Yep. And with McKenzie in camp, I hope Derek doesn't confuse him with McKinney and vice versa. Mark McKenzie, Weston McKinney, not Mark McKinney, not Weston McKenzie. I know. I've done it many times on this show. Thanks.
Like religiously.
Thank you for noticing. I actually called in the last show at one point. I called Peppy Pefok and Pefok Peppy. I got them totally flipped around. The P's fucked me up. And then I was driving down the road the other day and I said, Peppy Pefok, Peppy Pefok, Peppy Pefok, Peppy Pefok. That's not easy to say. Peppy Pefok, Peppy Pefok. It's kind of a tongue twister, but it's actually with the lips where you get all fucked up. All right. Greg Zistupia. Greg Zistupia. Okay. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
I think he's basically giving it an Italian sound and saying Greg is stupid.
Greg Zistupia. All right. Do you think it's possible that Pefok and Frere already have spots and that the purpose of this camp is to have Sargent and Peppy battle out for the last spot? God, I hope not.
No,
Sargent's on this team, man.
We've talked about that as a. We don't think that Pefok's guaranteed to go to the World Cup by any means.
Oh.
If he continues to perform, it's possible that he's gonna earn his spot, even though he wasn't in the September camp. But I think this trio of strikers might be Greg's trio, regardless.
I still think we should bring 4, but that's me.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. We should have.
To this and to the
No,
World
we
Cup,
don't.
we should bring 4. We really should. Because Sargent can play a winger if you need him, you know. But, I mean, let's say a game calls for you playing 2 up top. God forbid a game calls for 2 up top because you're down and you need a goal. You need 2 big boys in the box. That's what she said.
Oh, okay. This is what the name is. Greg sits to pee.
Sits to pee. Greg sits to pee. Make that a double O instead of an OU. You had me.
Yeah, when you said Zstupia, I was like, okay, well, that's got to be something.
Yeah, it sounds like a country. Where are you from? Zstupia.
Yeah.
The fact Berhalter called it McKenzie over Ream, Brooks, and even Miazga is puzzling. McKenzie is proven liability. He is, and he's not fast. He's no faster than Brooks. And but Brooks' teams, unfortunately, don't play a high line. Oh, look, and Reams play a mid-block. That's not even good enough. A mid-block's not good enough for Greg. You got to literally play on a team to play. So let's just put it this way. If Greg's, let's say, Ibrahim, Zlatan.
Okay.
Let's say Zlatan doesn't fit into Greg's system. Zlatan's not playing for the U.S. men's national team. That's how it is, because that's how important Greg's system is. And you got to get it through your thick fucking heads. Greg's important. His system's important. And we don't need some fucker who's one of the top scorers in the Bundesliga for a team like that's at the top of the table in the Bundesliga, fucking Greg's system up. And that's what Pefok would do. And that's why he's not in the team. And if you don't agree, fuck you, right? That's what Greg would say.
Not in so many words. That's what Greg says. Yeah.
No, he would say it much quieter. And
I'm not throwing anybody under the bus.
He throw lies in. Yeah.
Pefok's just not informed.
And they've already set this up. They said, you're going to be surprised, he said to the media. And it's not going to be the best player that we take. It's the player that's best fits the way we want to play.
Yeah, that's what Lawless was saying on a tweet recently. It's like, it's not meritocracy. It's who best fits the system. Best player may not necessarily fit the system.
It's bullshit. He's a center forward. He doesn't have to fit any system.
I think he went on to talking about how if the system doesn't fit your best player, then you've got to change the system or something along those lines or alter whatever,
How about this? How about you're playing your system for 70 minutes and it's broken and it doesn't work and you try something different?
Yeah.
And
I
you
mean,
put it,
you're gonna face it. You're gonna face a team in the World Cup. Face them in the CONCACAF. You know,
who read you like a book.
they read like a book. They
Yep.
countered it, and
Yep.
we were on our heels most of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Unlikely to score. In a lot of games we didn't. So
And yeah, what happens if
sometimes you have to be able to adjust.
change the system? You know, I thought maybe Greg would have learned something after these last few years, that you have to adjust and that a system is fine, but sometimes you're going to run up against the lawnmower that's mowing your fucking system's lawn. That's when you got to change the system. And if that means playing 2 up top instead of 1, then that's what you do. That's what you do. And you put a big 6'3" monster like Pefok, who's scoring goals for like he eats shit for breakfast.
Yeah.
All right.
Derek, what you don't understand is he has changed his system. He has an alternate option to go to. So instead of playing our normal 4-3-3, you basically just allow one wing back to go up with no defensive responsibilities, and you have the other wing backs, or sorry, the back, not the wing back, but the back, sit back and play as an extra center back. And completely different, Derek.
Reggie Cannon.
Completely different. I mean,
Yep.
it's completely different. But it's
You're
different
right.
from how we normally play. It's like nothing close. I mean, I have to applaud Greg on coming up with a new system on the fly.
Different formations, same bullshit. So, and guess what, guys? Everybody in the World Cup is going to have us so scouted that, I mean, if Greg just shows up and does predictable shit, we are going to get our asses handed to us by England and maybe even Wales. Chris Gary, thank you, Chris. We appreciate it. Thank you for always being here, for being at every show since I can remember. C. Ronaldo, we like to press. We know what you bring. Maybe next time.
Yeah. You see, Ronaldo, we like the press. We know what you bring to the table. Maybe next cycle.
And it's not like Pefok hasn't been aggressive against the defense, against the back four this year for Union Berlin. It's one of the things he's done really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in fact, I think the center backs are surprised that he's coming at him. And Becker doesn't even do it as much as Pefok. And I think it's because Pefok is trying to show Greg, look, I can do what you want me to do. I can do it. Because I don't think that's Union Berlin's thought process. Pefok, instead of Morris, Sargent can play the wing in emergency.
So if there was ever a player where Berhalter could say, we know what he brings to the table, or we already know what he can do, I feel like Morris fits that bill better than Pefok.
Yep, I agree. Charlie Brown.
Ariola fits that role better than Pefok.
We know what Charlie Brown can do. We do. Charlie Brown, he's a clown. He's not a clown. I mean, Morris is a good kid. I like him.
Yeah.
And he loves his dog too much, and his girlfriend. But other than that, he's a good kid. Bonus question. Any chance of Leicester gets it figured out and avoids relegation not looking good for the Foxes? You would think that they would figure that out?
I suspect they will.
You think they would. And everybody's like, fire the manager. Okay, well, then that shit's just going to get worse because you have a great manager. He's proven it. His career proves it. It's not the manager, dude. It's the board. The board needs to be replaced because they misspent money and they didn't watch their budget, and now they couldn't spend any money last window, and they traded off a bunch of great players.
Well,
so
you got to keep the lights on the field on like 3 a.m. You ever drive by like a high school and the football fields lights are on?
Yep.
Nobody's out there.
No one's out there.
That's a great allocation of money, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let me say this. If he gets fired, he'll have a job in a week. All right. And Leicester, they're limited this season. When you give up your goalie, who's been your goalie for ages, what are you talking about? What are you doing? You don't give up Schmeichel? Never. He's the heart and soul of that team outside of your center forward. Alex Martinez. By the way, I got fired last month. I wonder why. And I've been watching the show a lot more than I usually do. Well, congratulations for that.
I feel like there's a correlation with what's coming up next.
It says today a job and start tomorrow. My job is 5 minutes away from my apartment. Hell
You're
yeah!
welcome, Alex. You're welcome.
USA. Yeah, I think, those lunch breaks could be pretty long at 3 p.m. when the games come on, Alex. So be careful. Don't get fired again. Unless you hate the job, but don't get fired.
Well, I mean, getting fired, I guess you could have worded it maybe like laid off. I mean, it's possible that he wasn't fired for watching the show during his lunch breaks. Maybe he got fired because the position dissolved.
Yeah.
And that's more of a let go or a lay off, but fired is something that everybody knows.
Yeah, maybe that he pulled his headphones out accidentally and at the volume of 10 heard me say,
Always warn you guys, yeah.
All right, next. Or we were talking about tits or whatever. We don't really talk about tits. We mentioned that. Markaloff, good to see Johnny Soccer on this camp. That is all. Yep.
Glad to see him on board.
No complaints. I'm glad he's here.
I'm kind of surprised. I'm surprised he brought in Johnny Soccer because I guess I kind of associated more of a I guess a 6 and less the Berhalter 8, but you can play both.
Well,
I assumed that he was going to bring in somebody like Mihailovic because Mihailovic is somebody he wanted to bring in regardless.
Well, one thing for sure, Leget's career with the U.S. men's national team is over because that's what this says right here.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised it wasn't Mihailovic, but maybe they already have plans for him. So, will you all buy FIFA 23 and stream a game against each other or against another team, preferably against England or Mexico, or play paper, rock, scissors on the stream, and whoever loses has to play as Mexico or England? Yeah, I mean, those are all things that we thought of. Brett's.
It's a shame if I end up losing that rock, paper, scissors, man. If I'm Mexico or England, I'm like, oh no, 5 own goals. This is the worst match ever.
Brett's just got to buy FIFA 19. That's it. Because that's what I've got.
Is there a FIFA 23? We could buy it. We've got the money, dude. We can buy a new FIFA game.
No, but 21 is horrible. It's atrocious.
I'm looking forward. I mean, does FIFA still have? Does EA Sports still have FIFA for 2023?
I don't know. It could be a whole different company, according to one of my sons, that they lost it, and it's going to be a whole different company. So,
I know they lost the license, but I wasn't sure if they got it back. Because I gotta imagine that's got to be a big money maker for EA. They don't do a whole lot to change it.
I'll try 2023, but I can tell you 2021 or 2022, the play sucked. Gameplay sucked.
I'll put it this way, Derek: if we get 2019, then it's going to be hard pressed to find other people to play outside of ourselves.
We'll be playing each other, I guess.
We'll be playing with ourselves, yeah.
That's gross. All right.
All right, so 2023 comes out, is the last one. Okay, so 2023 is the last one, and it comes out September 30th. Okay.
All right, I'll consider it.
Fuck it, let's get it.
All right, we'll do it. We'll do it.
We'll figure out this TSRC gaming. I don't know if we're going to make a new channel for that or if we're just going to piggyback off this one.
Yeah, probably just this one. It'll be like a post we put up during the day or something, while you're at work. Yeah. So you can watch it if you care about that stuff. All right, are we nearing the end? Graf Boussier. I love that name, Graf Boussier. I wish that was my name. What's your name? My name is Graf Boussier.
I'm so confused at that. What are you talking about?
Graf Boussier.
This. I got you. I wasn't even looking at who we had pulled up there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Graf Boussier. What a name.
We both have Xbox Ones, and I'm gonna have a gaming PC here soon. But I'll get the FIFA on Xbox. Although technically speaking, I should be able to carry that over to the computer as well because Microsoft is aiming to connect all their devices similar to what Apple does to an extent, where things talk between each other. So I should be able to play it on my computer or on the Xbox One.
You should, yeah. And keep in mind, my son also plays, and so does one of your friends. He's has an Xbox, right?
Yeah, I don't know if
be 2 against 2.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll buy it or if he'll have to. One of us will have to make the trip. We'll have to play in a day where maybe a weekend where we.
He's travel. A doctor. He can afford it.
Doctor.
He can afford it. Trust me. I don't buy Greg's line of bullshit when he said the World Cup roster is only 5% decided. This roster is the World Cup roster, apart from the injuries.
That's pretty much what I said when the roster came out. Like, there are literally like 3 potential spots here.
That's
held
what
by like 4 players.
85% is about 4 players.
Well, I would see that as 4 spots, not 4 players.
4 spots, 5 spots, right?
Sure.
Somewhere around there.
I'm saying 3 spots held by 4 players.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
striker, left back, and third goalkeeper, I guess, at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Outside that, pretty much everything's set in stone.
I'd say so. Yeah. Maybe right back. Maybe there's a little. Not so sure. That's probably Cannon,
Yedlin, Cannon, and
Scally.
I think if Scally's included, he's going to be back up to Jedi, who can play right back too. Let me put it that way, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe he's back up to right back and left back. I don't know.
Yeah, and he loves him some Cannon. So.
Yeah.
All right. Next.
I believe that's all, folks.
That is all, folks. Okay. An hour and 36 minutes. We appreciate you showing up, especially the last show was just really crazy. Thursday shows are usually lower than Mondays. So, I mean, you guys crushed it, honestly. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, talk about it, share it on your tweeters and your Twitters, and tell people why you like the show. I mean, a lot of people are going to watch the show and go, I don't get the inside jokes. But if they hang around long enough, they will get the inside jokes. So they just need to watch it more than twice because we use a lot of the same material. A lot of the same inside jokes over and over again, like the Matt Miazga thing.
Yeah.
I mean, so again, here's the thing. So the Japan game is on Friday.
Yes, thank you for bringing this up.
So we are probably going to are we going to watch that during the day because we're at work when it comes on at 8 in the morning?
I mean, some people are just waking up. I mean, hell, there are going to be people in California that will still be asleep.
Yeah.
He was at 8:26 Eastern Standard Time, I'm imagining.
It's ridiculous. So we're going to come home from work. We're going to watch the game separately, and then we will get together for the show, and we will cover the game. And then we'll do a second part to that show. We'll do the live, and then we'll do a 20-minute player ratings. And then, again, we got another game coming up on the 27th, which is Tuesday. I will just be finishing up running a big conference for the state of Indiana. I'm not going to say which one. And once I'm done with that, I'm probably head over to Brett's house because I don't have a way to record FS1, and FS1 doesn't have demand, so I won't be able to replay it. So we're going to watch it at his place, and I'm going to drive to my place, and then we'll do the show. So that's how that's going to work. So no show this week on Thursday. The show will be on Friday night after the game. Okay, so that wraps that up. Until the next time on the Straight Right Card, make sure you and we'll see you next time.
You're gonna do her. Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me.